The video here is being made from our 8mm film that we took many long years ago. This is Carol, and she is Queen, a Queen's costume, and this is being taped at our home in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. She is Queen of something, we don't know what, we can't remember. There's John, and he is the king, the ruler. That hand, of course, comes from the directress, who is Betty, our daughter Betty. So she was setting up some kind of a play or reason. And there's John just coming up. And there the lights are held by somebody up close while I'm back away, because in the old days the camera were with the lights, but here I have the camera and the lights separated to have a better view of the king and queen together. Here's the backyard in Greensburg. Of course, we can pick out Carol. That's Bill. They're on the swing set.
He always had to show off a little.
That looks like Eddie. So we don't know what the occasion was. These are neighborhood friends. There's Suzanne Oscar, though. And there's Betty. Isn't that? No, that's not Suzanne Oscar, because Suzanne Oscar was Betty's size. We have now moved to 14 North Kesey Street in York, Pennsylvania. This is the front of the house facing Kesey Street. And we can always pick out Carol coming down the steps. And the upstairs was the children's bedroom on the left and our bedroom on the right. Some of the time, sometimes we were in the back bedroom. That looks like Bill in the front yard. Carol we can pick out, and Betty on the step. This is the south side of the house, and we had the sun porch, which we used in the summertime, and those are the upstairs bedrooms. The children on the right, and ours was on the left or the front some of the time, and the big pine trees. Here's the backyard, and the entranceway to the cellar, the upstairs bedroom, and the back bedroom. That's Betty on the steps.
Looks like a doll that she had dressed, and they were going to have one of their famous parades.
Yeah, well, there's
Jim
and Carol. That's John again?
That's John. Mm-hmm. He's not too happy about having his picture taken.
There's Marg taking down the wash, I should say, for the dried clothes. In those days we used solar power for drying clothes. I hung them up in the sunlight.
That's my dad. Evidently they'd been visiting us and they were just about to leave.
Once again, is Bill in the left front and Carol in the back.
And this is my mother. It must have been in the springtime, because the way she's dressed and carrying a coat.
Right. Right, there's your sister.
Helen.
Yeah, there's Helen and Al, really. And they're with our children. There's Carol in the front.
I think that was my wedding suit that I'm wearing. That is.
Right, I think so too. Mom's
I
getting
wore
them.
it a long time, but I had 4 or 5 children.
In the background is the neighbor that lived next to us when we moved into 14 North Kesey Street. Of course, John's in the front. Here we get a close-up of him. This is Craig, really. Of course, this is Jim's cousin.
They were born 12 days apart. My sister Helen and I were pregnant at the same time. It was fun to talk about it. It's a good picture of Craig as a child.
Yep, and here comes Jim. Here comes cousin Jim. Now watch them get together. Only Jim didn't like it. But Craig, oh, he's a good sport. He's going to come in and soothe him. He's going to take care of his cousin. There now. You're a nice kid, he says. Don't cry. Almost looks like they're trying to wrestle.
What worries me is that door in the back, is that the entrance to the basement?
Yeah, but they weren't going there. We were watching them. Greg was affectionate that time, but Jim had no response until they started playing. Then, of course, when one child had something, the other one wanted it. Said, I got it. No, I want it. You can't have it. This is usual with small children. They always want what the other one has. There's Al and Helen. Al has Jim and Helen has Craig. Okay, this is wintertime, as you can see, and we get out and play in the snow, and the snowballs are flying. That's Mom. That would be John.
That's Carol in the background.
Right, Betty, there's Carol.
There's Carol. That's Jim, I guess, in the background, in the blue suit.
Yeah, Jim's in the blue suit. He's just finding out what snow is. There's Bill and Betty trying to build a snowman. Here comes John with his sled. And Carol's coming in behind.
Her cheeks always got so pink when she was out in the snow.
Yeah, there I am cleaning off the walks. Always have to work. Look how deep that snow is. Whoa, we go right on down there with that broom handle. Hey, it looks like it's over a foot deep. Actually, the first snow wasn't quite that deep. But it was fun getting them out and playing with them, even if the gloves come off and the hands get cold. But just to show you the beauty, here are just scenes there at 14 North Kesey, because it was beautiful when we had the fresh snow on the trees and the bushes and the house.
You took a lot of pictures of that house.
Right, there I am out front of the front walk, getting ready to clean off the front walk, shovel it off. Only there it looked like I'm shoveling up by the neighbor's house.
There's the Corcoran house.
Okay, now it's Easter time. And there's Betty with her Easter suit, Carol with her Easter bonnet. There's John. There's Bill. There's Mom with Jim. And Jim has a pistol, if you notice there, he got for Easter.
That dress I'm wearing was a gift from a man who owned a store downtown.
There's our children lined up.
They love to get dressed up at Easter time. From head to toe.
There's Carol. Jim with his pistol. He's a pistol packing Jim.
He didn't have to get dressed up. He wasn't going to church.
It's Carol with her Easter basket.
I always loved that dress, that outfit on her.
Betty, her
She's modeling.
with her clothes. Mom helping her off with the jacket. Yeah, take care of the hair. Yeah, there's Betty and Carol. To show you the outfits for that. There's Bill making the rabbit jump, the Easter Bunny jump, while Jim looks on and wonders what is going on. This was just a sign of York that was there on, I was going to say Market, but
I think it was North Market, or Market Street.
It was East Street. This is my Aunt Laura and her son Pooh Ball. Actually, his name was Walter Sessions, but we call him Pooh Ball. This was his wife, Mary. And Mary and Pooh Ball are actually second cousins. Marg, of course. And they had just driven up for the day from Baltimore. And Laura had visited us often when we lived in Greensburg and we were having baby. She loved to come over and take care of all you young ones when we lived in Greensburg. This is Walter and Mary. Here we are in the backyard, and I was just trying to picture.
Yeah, these are the Oscar girls. That's Suzanne
Right.
on the left, Nancy in the middle, and Betty, our Betty. And there's Grace Oscar. Must have been a time when they visited us in York.
Right, but these pictures are back in in Latrobe. It looked like the house. This is your backyard in Latrobe.
It could be.
But you see, it's Easter time. Everybody has the Easter bonnets on. There goes Bill. Yeah, this is your backyard in Walnut Street. That's Mom.
Uh-huh. Well, we must have been at home rather than them visiting us. We
That's
were
right.
back in Latrobe for Easter.
Carol.
John.
Pardon these blanks, but these are where the tapes are matched together.
This is in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, on Ligonier Street, going south. That building on the left is the bulletin office where I had worked as society editor.
There's the National Guard unit from Latrobe. Of course, it's being followed by the American Legion Drum and Bugle Corps, and both Uncle Jim and Uncle Frank participated in the Drum and Bugle Corps. They were members.
There's my brother Jim, the one that's deceased.
I think at that time Jim was the head of the Legion that year. He was the post commander, we call him.
These are taken on the front porch of my Aunt Gert's house at 1312 Ligonier Street. It was a perfect place to watch a parade.
And here comes this be the Latrobe High School band coming up the street. Sorry, we don't have sound on this one. They are the Girl Scouts.
troops. And there we are all lined up sitting on Aunt Gert's porch. There's my dad with the hat, and my Aunt Gert and my mother.